Hey, guess what? I'm back. You know what that means? That means obnoxious music. Go. Howdy, y'all. Wondering who's gonna be here on a Black Friday tailgate. Wonder who. Matthew at Pickin' and Pipin'. Who else is there? I've got 3 people on. Only person chatting is me. Well, and Matthew now. By the way, Matthew, howdy. First in, first on. By the way, I'm going to promote more than one channel today. It's going to happen. And here's how we're going to do it. Martin comes on later this evening. If he can get out of the malfunctions. I'm going to be there. The question to win a cigar. Okay, now first of all, you cannot take the 585. It's gone. It is gone. You can't take the Magic Toast. That's gone too. But anybody who thinks that they want to win, they're going to need 2 things. First, they're going to need that email address. Y'all remember there's a W right up in there? There's a W in between my first and last name. Yes, that's my middle initial. I'm not telling you what it is. That is a middle initial. That's all that it is. Okay. So the number 4. Look, I'm going to show it again. Let me show it again. Here we go. Let's do it again. We're going to bring it down so that it's more on the bottom where everybody's going to be able to see it a whole lot better. Here we go. Just remember, it's gmail.com. I know it's fading out there in the Gmail portion. Jeff and Matthew. So, the 2 things you're going to need that email address. Matthew, it's not really chilly. It's just that it's all the way up to 60, but it's still 95% humidity. It's not going to break 60 degrees today. It might get to 61, okay. But when I woke up this morning, it was 45 degrees. And all the running around and the little bit of working I've been doing, most of the work I've been doing is inside. So I'm kind of warm. And then I run out here because it's time to do this. And you know what? You go from warm inside to kind of cool outside. Cool and humid. And it feels so much colder than it actually is. I've got this thing unzipped. It's just a real thin jacket. I mean, you can see it's not thick at all. This is just enough to keep me from catching a chill. All right, so one more time for the people in the back. Here we go. This is the email address y'all will need. There we go. For Donald W. Hughes at gmail.com. You're going to need that if you win. What can you win? Today you got a choice of a Camacho American Barrel Aged. And the reason why today is the Camacho American Barrel Aged is because the only person in the YTPC that likes bourbon more than I do he won yesterday. And he's getting an 858. Well, as soon as he sends me an email, he is. Otherwise, I'm going to have to, when I get to the very end of this, if you don't send me an email, I'm going to have to do it again, and somebody else is going to win your stuff. Odie, we'll talk about that. If and when I see you, I'm going to make sure that you get that email. It might have been confusing the first time. Everett Young, howdy, sir. All right. So now I've introduced the cigar you can win. There it is. It's the American Barrel Aged Camacho, and it comes in a tube. The tube is a highlight, whether you like it or not. This is great for storing a little bit of pipe tobacco for on the road or on the go. Fill it up, tuck it in a pocket, away you go. Or matches. But you're probably not going to fit 860 matches in here. Match heads maybe, but total matches no. But the reason why this cigar is the cigar that's given away today, for whoever wants it, as soon as I explain the rules, we're going to go on that. Okay. You're going to need to know 2 things. One is my email address. You got to know my email address. If you cannot do the email address, then I suggest Facebook Messenger. If you're having issues getting a hold of me on Facebook Messenger, Twitter, and Instagram, I'm under the Voodoo Review on Instagram. Odie, you gotta send me that email, brother. All right, watch real close, because here it comes. For Donald W. Hughes at gmail.com. Or if you find me on Facebook, you can look for Fried Donald. That would be FRIEDONALD. I'm pretty sure I'm the only Fried Donald there. No big deal. Did you just send it, Odie, or did... Because I was looking for it earlier and I didn't see it. No big deal. I'm gonna keep looking until I find it. I'm gonna make sure that you get those 2 sticks. Now, the only one stick that is not going to be available is going to be that Opus X. And there's a reason behind that. I'm going to go into that here in just a second. But this particular cigar is aged in bourbon barrels using almost completely American tobaccos. You can look up the whole article on briarreport.org. So if you want to know more about this particular cigar right now, you can do that. Now here's what you're going to need to do, though. You're going to go to briarreport.org. You're going to click on the hamburger button. If you don't know what the hamburger button is, you see that little button right? Let's see, right there. The 3 little lines, it's called a hamburger button. Click on that button. When you click on that button, you will look for something that says blog. The Briar Report blog. If you've not seen the Briar Report blog, spend a little time, read a little article. It's fine. Don't do it now. All right, do it now if you damn well want to. Howdy, Matt. Great to see you, sir. But you're going to be able to get this particular cigar if you go into Martin's show and you make sure, all caps, Donald. You put Donald and the answer. That's all you have to put. Now here's the question. Who is the first person linked? So what channel is linked after Phil talks about Escudo? Now, once he starts talking about Escudo, the first link you can come to, that's who it is. But you gotta tell me on Martin's show. Now, I'm gonna be fair about it. I'm going to be very fair about it. If you know my email address, or how to get in touch with me, or comment something on one of my videos, do something. Let me know that you are still alive and able to somehow receive some sort of mail, whatever. You give me the message, and we will converse back and forth, and I will get your address so that I can send it to Phil. Now, you have to be okay with Phil having your address. If you're not okay with Phil having your address, sorry about your luck, don't play. Wow, free cigar. All you got to do is give your address to 2 people. One is me. I'm not going to give it out to anybody other than Phil. And I got to give it to Phil because that's where it's coming from. That's where your cigar's coming from. Phil. He spent a lot of money on this. He wants to promote A, his blog, B, a lot of those channels, and C, he kind of likes the idea of giving away some cigars to people who are more or less not cigar smokers, but still in the pipe community. Now, granted, if you are a cigar smoker and you just want the damn cigar, get on in here. I don't mind. Now, unfortunately, again, because of stupidity restrictions, you have to A, be old enough to receive a cigar, and B, at least at this point in time, not be overseas. Or at least, maybe I should say, not be outside of the United States. Now, I'm sorry about that. I'm just trying to save Phil some money. He hasn't told me yet that to open it up to everybody. I do talk to him. I'm not trying to cheat anybody. But I'm trying to give everybody a chance to A, go look at the blog. Odie, you know what? Let me see here. As of yet, it has not seemingly showed up. Are you sure you sent it to my name but with a W in the middle? Now it's 4, the number 4. My name with a W in between my first and my last name. At gmail.com. Howdy, Todd. Great to see you, sir. And this is the reason why I'm not doing an instant gratification on this one, because there's going to be some people like Todd who are going to be able to come in and they're going to say, oh, hey, I'd like to try and get that cigar. And I don't mind. I don't mind. I want everybody to have a shot at it. Okay, cool. You know what? If you didn't have that W in the middle the first time you sent it, then it goes off into space and never comes back. I don't know who gets those, but well. And remember, do not send your actual address in the first until you know for sure that it's me. But you know what? If you're seeing my face, such as what's going to pop up over here in just a second here in the chat. If you see me and my cat named Trump, see, look, there I am. There I am. It's right there. You look for that picture, you know you've got the, you know that you got to the right location. All right. So again, what I'm looking for, you got to go on to Martin's show. That's a second promotion. Yes, you've got to go to the Briar Report blog. The Briar Report magazine, you see it's right there, and you hit the hamburger button. It's right there by my glasses right now. Or at least, according to me, it's on my glasses. Look, it's right there above the J in J Mouton, and it's right there below the BR in BR TV. And, oh look, I even made sure to shoot that screenshot at the right time, because there we go. There's the article that started this whole mess. But you hit that hamburger button, and you read through the blog. You're going to have to search for it a little bit. I'm not making it super easy, but if you go to the blog, you hit that button, you read down through the blog, you're going to see Phil starting to talk about Escudo. You'll understand that it's not the Escudo you're thinking of by the end of the first blog of the day. And I want to know who is the owner of the channel. Now, go with the channel name. I know who it is. Odie, I think I just got your email. I want to know who is the channel name that you go to if you click on the first link after the word Escudo starts getting talked about. I've looked it up. I've read the articles. Hell, I've read all the way from where the blog, it's called The Blob, by the way. I've read them all. Where it started, where it's going, how well it's doing. It's a good little daily catch-up. And, hey, Phil takes a little bit of time, writes it out. So we're going to do that. And the reason why it's the Camacho barrel-aged is because Odie is the only person I know that is a bigger bourbon fan than I am. Oh, by the way, I'm going to smoke this cigar. One more down. One more down. Let me make sure. Yep. Cincinnati Bourbon Drop. Yes, sir. I do believe I got your email. Odie, as soon as I get done with this cigar or Chad comes on, I'm going to make sure that we get together on this, and I will get your email or your actual address so that I can give it to Phil so that he can get those cigars out to you. I did a shit poor job of lighting that stick. But you know what? I've got more fluid. Okay, so a little bit about this cigar, then we're going to go back into just whatever y'all want to talk about. It is aged in bourbon barrels. Technically, that makes it an infused cigar. Howdy, Paul. Great to see you, sir. It has a certain amount of spiciness to it that to me reminds you of a good quality bourbon. Now, Odie is going to be able to verify this, but a good quality bourbon is going to have a little bit of warmth going down. You're going to feel a little of that just as you smoke this cigar. I thought Odie would take it, but he kind of went with Magic Toast or the Opus. Now, the reason why the Opus is off the table, in case anybody wins a cigar, the Opus for right now is off the table because I plan on giving away that cigar on Tuesday during the James Stumbo show. Howdy, Sharon. Great to see you, ma'am. Ooh, E.H. Taylor. Hell, I'd be pumped too. Warm and fuzzy feeling, or love, yeah. Paul, if I could really give it to you, if I could just hand it through the screen to you, I would. I really would. The only problem with cigars that I know of is mailing them overseas. Because you got to sit there and package the hell out of them so that they don't end up just beat to shit and back. But have you seen some of the boxes that have gone overseas, either from Europe over to America or from America over to Europe? Those boxes look like somebody ran them over with a forklift. And then you go and do that to a cigar. I mean, you turn a $5 cigar into a $50 cigar just in packaging and shipping costs. So that's a little bit of an issue, at least at present. Let's just say I get a job this coming year, because I'm hoping that we get past this whole COVID bullshit enough that I can get a job. And next year, I'm going to have some money in the game. I will see if we can't make this game happen every year. That way, there's some people out there that get a nice stick that they can smoke, you know, December or New Year's or however they would like to consume them. Oh, by the way, Odie, let you know, Phil knows who won. He actually did watch the show. Paul, the whole reason why I'm not having a job right now, the whole reason, I actually was offered 3 jobs since COVID started. My wife and my mother-in-law have asthma, and 2 people in their family have died shortly after getting the vaccine. Which, if y'all are following along with me, it's not really a vaccine. But with a certain family genetics that's saying maybe it might not be the best of ideas for them to go get these shots. They've talked it over with their doctor. And as long as I'm the one going out and putting myself to the hazard of contact with other people, and then when I come home, I make sure that I always follow the same steps. I sanitize the hands. I don't remove the mask until after I sanitize. Plus, I've got psoriasis, so the chances of me dying from COVID are super slim. So I'm doing everything I can to eliminate it from possibilities of my wife and my mother-in-law. Woo! Man, Mitcher's 10. Did he at least say thank you, Odie? If he didn't, next time you see him, bust him square in the mouth for me. Mitcher's 10's pretty good stuff. Howdy, James. Great to see you, sir. So in case anybody wants to try a bourbon barrel aged cigar, very similar to what I'm smoking now. And it comes in a tube. Very useful tube if you've been following along with me long enough. You got to go to the Briar Report blog. It's on the Briar Report magazine, so briarreport.org. While you're there, you can look for the article about the about cigars. Now, it's meant to be a starting point. The cigars that are suggested are meant to be a starting point for those that don't know hardly anything about cigars. It's just a spot to give you some ideas of where you might want to jump in. And for the most part, it will give you an idea of, hey, you know what? If you never smoke a cigar, that's fine. But let's say that your boss gets married, has a kid, daughter goes to college, whatever. And you know that he's a cigar guy and you never smoked a cigar before. I'm going to tell you. You go to that list, you go get one of the cigars on that list that sounds kind of like it would fit to that girl, guy, person. You're going to do okay. They're not going to say, oh my God, this dude did like the cheapest crap-tastic cigar. Here's something that only 4 people you'll ever meet in your entire life would smoke. No, these are cigars that people will still smoke. Not necessarily that you're going to be right. But as long as you're sort of right. But back to how to win that cigar. Yeah, winning the cigar. You got to tell me who in the blog on briarreport.org, pound that hamburger button and find the blog. Trust me on this. It's there. And then find out when Phil starts talking about Escudo. Read through that article, and you'll come to a link. The first link after Phil starts talking about Escudo. The first link after. That's what I want to know. What channel is that? And then tell me on Martin's show later tonight. All right, Big Country. Good Lord. Watch the first 15 minutes of this show later. I think everybody's tired of me saying the same exact things because I just dropped 3 people trying to say it again. Howdy, Cole. Glad to see you here. Glad to see you here. Yes, sir. I'm definitely giving away a stick. But you got to go to Martin's show later tonight and tell me. Make sure it's in caps. That way I know. It's the first person that tells me. You're going to need to know this email address. Now, it's the number 4. It's my name with a W in between my first and last name at gmail.com. And you got to go to the Briar Report blog. And you got to find where he's talking about a Scudo. And then you got to tell me what channel, the first link after talking about a Scudo. Now, there's only one right answer, and I know what that answer is. I've already looked it up. I made sure. And the link works. Of course, Phil tells you where the link is supposed to take you. And it's a Camacho. That's a decent stick. And Odie, yes, I'll remember that you said that. Martin who? Oh, and James, don't worry about being on the spot on Tuesday. When I give away an Opus X on your show, it's a 7-inch long Opus. It's ridiculous. Yes, you want that cigar. Yes, all of y'all want that cigar. Pretty damn good stick. It really is. I'm not putting James on the spot about giving it away. I'm the one going to be responsible for this. So if you don't like the stick, you can blame me. Actually, you can blame Jensen. But I've never met Jensen. I've never talked to Jensen. So I guess you're going to have to just blame me. But I figure if somebody's nice enough to invite me onto their show and do an interview, which is happening on Tuesday, then I should probably dig into that bag that Phil sent me and get the nicest cigar. So, if you win this cigar, you're not going to be able to pick the Fuente 858, you're not going to be able to pick the Magic Toast. By the way, Odie, I smoked that Magic Toast earlier today, and I love that stick. It's pretty awesome. And of course, you're not going to be able to pick another Camacho because I'm trying to make sure to give away the 13 sticks. But as long as you don't choose the Opus, the 858, the Camacho, or the Magic Toast, you're probably going to get an extra stick. Of course, I'm making you do a little work to get this. And no, I didn't clear it with Martin. So he's probably going to think somebody who's not there at his live is there at his live, and that's okay. We all kind of like to play around with Martin, though, a little bit, don't we? I mean, he's a pretty good guy. Howdy, Eden. Great to see you, sir. Oh, nice. Ohio. Good choice there. I've actually had those, though it's been a while. I will tell you, it's been a while. I know it's been a while because when I had a job on the road, and it's been a while, I had the opportunity to go into the famous cigar shop. I was passing through the area, and I was just like, you know what? I'm tired of driving, and it's right at rush hour, and I don't need to be jacking around. And I asked a friend to find me where I could get a cigar, and pulled over. It just happened to be at Famous Cigars. Cliff freaking Higgins. Howdy, sir. Hey, Cliff. It's a Camacho barrel aged cigar. You can win it tonight if you're at Martin's show. And you know who is the link after you read the blog entry for the day. Just in case you might possibly want a Camacho barrel age. 10-4. Oh, or is that 10-4? If it's 10-4, that's just a weird score. So you got to know the first link after Phil talks about Escudo. Cliff, I'm just trying to make you an offer. You just can't refuse. Now I know Cliff understood. Yeah, Odie, I was like, well, I mean, I guess I could wait around till after Martin's off of his show. I mean, I guess, sort of, kind of. Eden, I have liked 90% of the Las Calaveras lineup. And I have not tried the 2021 yet. Now, the 2021 is with a the 2021 is with the yellow band on it, and I haven't tried it yet. So as soon as I know, I will find that out. Okay, as far as seeing the comments, Eden, if you will slide the screen from right to left before you start a live stream, or if you go up to the top corner up here where it's got the little circle button. I don't know if you can see the circle button or not. And then there's a little menu button. If you hit that menu button, and you start playing around with the widgets and you set up that here is where I would like my words to be. Now, I'm just going to give a quick little brief statement here. Quite honestly, because I have to take enough time to read the comments, I like the comments to be on the side with the camera, because I feel like it makes it look as if I'm actually looking at y'all a lot more than looking at my face. Now, this is me looking at my face. This is me looking at the words. So if I'm looking at the words, I look like I'm still sort of more or less talking to you instead of to the person just past you. At least that's the way it feels to me. And yes, I can sort of peripherally see that my eyes look more like they're talking to the camera than it is to, you know, what I'm actually doing is I'm reading. I'm just trying to make it feel comfortable for the audience. Weirdly enough, I could put the words on the other side of the screen, but then I'm looking over here, and I don't think anybody wants to see the show where I'm looking off to the side, because, well, I'm not as pretty as Doug, and if I'm going to sit over here and look off to this side, I better be at least as pretty as Doug. Uh-oh, Steph's saying she's not feeling good. 10 a.m. Central. Okay, so that's going to be difficult for Eden. But I mean, Boris is there at the same time. Okay, so Eden. If you catch Flat Cap Piper, his show is college sports. And right after his show, I go on until the hour hits. Because sometimes Flat Cap is done in like 35 minutes, and sometimes we run it a little bit longer. My show is just a kind of a filler in between. Now, I'm not trying to downplay my portion of this. I'm just saying that I've got a pretty good thing going with filling in between Raphael and Steph. Plus, that way nobody's sitting there going like, oh great, well I got a whole hour of nothing to do. Steph, I saw portions of it. I couldn't really just sit back and watch. I did listen into it, but I saw portions of it. I didn't comment. I did shoot you a thumbs up though. Very true, Eden. Cole, you couldn't find anything about a Scudo. Did you hit the hamburger button on the BriarReport.org site? And then you got to look for the blog. Eden, yes, sir. You get to be on the clock. I'm just filling in. Sometimes I'm an hour and a couple of minutes. Sometimes I'm like 45 minutes. Hell, there was a time it was like 15 minutes. No, Cole, you don't have to blog. You just have to read the blog. I'm trying to get some more hits into the Briar Report blog, which he sometimes calls the blob. He's got a daily little rundown blog, and Eden, hers normally goes for an hour. If you want to go longer, I believe you've got a 2-hour window there before the virtual pipe club. So if you feel like you want to go for 2 hours, yeah, I mean, you could definitely smoke a full pipe or have a cigar or however it goes. Now, being that the virtual pipe club is on a different media platform, if you go a little long, there's not really anybody that's going to be able to tell you different. But you might notice that some of your viewership takes a nosedive right about the same time that the virtual pipe club comes on. Eden, James is a real nice guy. Okay, I know James as Dingus, and I know James Stumbo as Stumbo. That part comes from old military statement. People used to call me just plain Hughes for so damn long it was ridiculous. Oh yeah, he's a great guy. Great guy. And for anybody who's trying to figure out, IDAN is pronounced Eden. And, well, because of where he is. Eden, shalom. Steph, I would never, ever tell Skip that you said something about that. But, hey, my team beat the Cowboys, so... Okay, almost correct. Well, Eden, this is something that Steph crocheted for me. And it's reminiscent of the outline of the shield for the Raiders. The hard part about this, now, I'll tell you, I know about this because I have crocheted a few things. It's crocheted and then it fits. Getting somebody to actually crochet fit something that actually fits your head without having ever actually met you, all I'll tell you is that's difficult. I mean, I could crochet a few things, but I'm not going to try and crochet a hat. It's going to just end up being horrible. But Steph did this just doing it. And somehow it fits, which is awesome. Steph definitely makes very cool stuff. And Steph, I agree with you. Some of us just really need some time away from our families. And luckily, there's a time slot where people are already kind of showing up, and then me, where people are still hanging out, and then you, and all you got to do is be a little entertaining, and they'll stick around. Steph, don't worry. I'm sure that Skip's thinking about you, and you've made stiff this week. Sorry, Steph. It was there. Low-hanging fruit. Eden, you're obviously entertaining. People are hanging out on your show. And you've even been mentioned on the BriarReport.org. I know, because I saw it there. Uh-oh. Steph, the only thing I'll tell you is, look, if you break a toilet lid, the tank lid anyways, you replace it the best you can, and the chances of actually finding one that fits perfectly, pretty slim unless you know exactly which model it was that was installed. And, I mean, I've been to the factory where they actually make all those porcelain bowls. And I do mean all of them. There's piles of them sitting around because people will drop it, and then they can't find a lid that fits the tank, so then they gotta replace the lid with the tank. They've even said it gets difficult, and they're the people that make it. Gerald Flood, howdy, sir. Gerald, just in case you need to know, I am giving away a Camacho this evening on Martin's show. You need my email address, which here it comes, and you need you need to look at the Briar Report blog. That's at briarreport.org. And then you look for the hamburger button. And then you click on the blog link and you read down through the blog. And the first link after Phil talks about a Scudo will take you to a YouTube channel. And, well, if you're there, you might as well click subscribe anyways. But I just need, in Martin's chat later tonight, capital letters, my name, and then you can put the name of the channel that link. Oh, goodness gracious. That seems like a lot of hours there, Gerald. Eden, unfortunately for me, this is actually a fairly early live stream, because this starts at 3 o'clock. And I will tell you, I really enjoy spending all this time with y'all. Yeah, Eden, that is very true. Martin's show is late, but it is the last thing that happens on Friday. For some of y'all, it's already Saturday by the time Martin even thinks about hitting the live or go live button. But I'm trying to do this in such a way as to cross-promote, one, the Briar Report, two, the Briar Report's blog. The more people that know where that blog is, the more people are going to start actually reading it. And it's kind of entertaining. I'm sitting there laughing my butt off as they're talking about Escudo, especially because I'm imagining the wrong Escudo. But if you read the blog, you'll understand what I'm talking about by the wrong Escudo. All right, one more time. Here we go. So you go to... All right, there's the address right there. Briar Report Magazine is at briarreport.org. Okay. Then you come down here and you see right there by my nose, there is a 3 lines. Somebody decided that that needed to be called a hamburger button. I don't know who that person is, but everybody uses it now. That is the menu button. You click on the hamburger button. From there, you scroll down through the available choices and you will find one that says blog. Now, once you get the BLOG, Briar Report blog, still doesn't really have a name yet. Don't worry, if you read the whole thing, you'll understand. And then you read through the blog a little bit, you'll get to the point where Phil talks about Escudo. And then right below where he has started talking about Escudo, the first link will take you to a different YouTube presenter who's on fairly regularly. Eden, yes sir, it definitely says blog. And then, like I said, it's just a short little read. I'm not making you go searching for an answer that's super hard to find. Eden, that's something that I am definitely going to discuss with Phil, because it took me a few tries to find it, and that's probably the reason why it's not getting as many hits as it should. But the more people we can get to know about this blog, the more readers he's going to get. The more people that read it, the more people that are going to say, hey, could you just put the button somewhere on the front page so that it's not lost in the menus somewhere? And maybe he can, maybe he can't. I'm not telling Phil exactly how to run his website. Well, the website should have that same menu button. And Odie says it's pretty easy to find. Huh. Now, granted, I do a lot of this. No, not .com, .org, .org. Let me. There you go. Look right below the shield on my hat. You'll see how it says Briar Report Magazine, but right below that it says BriarReport.org. Okay, so if you go to BriarReport.org, making sure I say that, and then it's right there in that black border that has nothing else in it. Oh yeah, if you're at the .com, you'll never find it there. Bear Wolf, howdy sir, great to see you. So Bear Wolf is also going to get a shot to try and win this. A Camacho cigar in a tube. Oh. You gotta know an email address. I'm popping it up here for you right now. That's the number 4, my name, with a W in between my first and my last name, gmail.com. And then, of course, you need to go to the BriarReport.org. Click on the hamburger button, which is the 3 lines that are sideways like this. Find the blog. Ron, do this as well. BriarReport.org, 3 lines. Click on the menu button, which is called the hamburger button for whatever reason. Read the blog. Phil has started a blog. It's in there. You're going to read something about some escudo. Once you read about escudo, there will be a link below that. You're going to want to make sure that you know where that link is or where it takes you. And then tonight, on Martin's channel, once everybody sees me there, or once people start seeing me there, and y'all know I come in and I start chatting almost immediately, so I'm there early. Capital letters. My name, and then directly after that, still in capital letters, where that link takes you. That's all you got to do. And then I'm going to inform whoever wins right off to hit me up at that email address. Howdy, Scott. Great to see you, sir. Scott, it's Camacho, barrel aged. If you want it, here I am going on, and I'm like a bad infomercial, right? But wait, there's more. So, you go to the briarreport.org, you click on the hamburger button, you read the blog, you figure out where that first link after Phil starts talking about Escudo, the first link, wherever it takes you, that's the channel I want to know, but I want to know on Martin's show. I am cross-promoting the hell out of this, ain't I? Now, don't just stop there, though, folks. Let me remind y'all. The bonus cigar. You cannot pick the 858. You can't pick the Magic Toast. You can't pick another Camacho. And you cannot pick the Opus. So there's only 4 cigars you can't pick. But if you know what cigars are available on the beginners, the cigar gift buying guide. Steph, I do not believe that Chad's going live today. He indicated about 6 weeks. That was about 2 weeks ago. He's either got stuff going on, or maybe COVID is just not working well for him, or maybe he's just taking a vacation. He did not physically indicate that to me enough that I can answer why he's not live, but he said probably about 6 weeks. But 6, 8, how many ever. And I'm only going to hang out for this cigar. So that's going to give everybody plenty of time to read the blog and to read through the cigar buying guide. And there's a hidden prize. I'm not mentioning it yet. But the reason why I'm not giving out the Opus X is because that one I'm reserving for the James Stumbo. Or at least it's going to go out during the James Stumbo show. Somebody is going to win an Opus X on Tuesday. Now, anybody else who's interested, they feel like they want to go live after I finish this cigar, which I don't have that much left, you're welcome to. And you can refer back to this particular video. I'm just trying to get, well, to be quite honest, I'm just trying to do what I was asked to do. And if somebody's nice enough to send me 13 cigars, yeah, I said that. Somebody sent me 13 cigars. And they say the only thing that I got to do is make sure to give away 13 cigars and try not to make it cost an arm and a leg. I'm going to do my best. So maybe this is a win one that you don't really much care for. But the sooner you win, the better your chances are of getting the stick that you actually do want. James! Howdy, sir. James. Camacho Bourbon Barrel Aged. It's up for grabs today. You'll need this email address, and you'll need to know what link is below Phil talking about Escudo on the blog on briarreport.org. Paul, if you have an address, sure enough you can. Paul, my new best friend. But yes, we are definitely looking forward to seeing my name and then the link. And it'll be on Martin's show. Now, of course, I'm going to be there pretty early. First one that does it gets a cigar. And another cigar. But you got to know which other cigars are available. Not the Opus, not the Magic Toast, not the 858, and not another Camacho. But there's still some really good sticks in there. Oh, by the way, James, Stumbo that is, I looked for a thumbnail that you said you were going to send me, and I couldn't find it. But that's okay, because Cliff already saw it. Because you didn't send it to me. Okay, no problem. Eden, I definitely did recommend the Southern Draw Rose of Sharon. In my opinion, probably the best Connecticut on the market right now. But the Grupo de Maestros is pretty damn good too. Ordered some today. Nice. I think you'll really enjoy it. Just remember, it should be the first thing you smoke in a given day. If you've been up for a while, had a couple of bowls of something that's more flavorful, it will not have that level of flavor. But if it's your first of the day, it's got a ton of flavor, which is... Thank you, airplanes. It's it's an amazing cigar for the first thing of the day. Desert Rose is also very good, but the Desert Rose is a little harder to find for most people. Most people tend to go for the newer stick instead of the older stick. Both of them are exceptional. As far as Connecticut's go, it's crazy good. Cole, I wish it was the Houston Air Show, but that's normally September. That was canceled this year, though. I know, because I didn't see B-17s or the Blue Angels or anybody flying across. Wow, I guess I didn't get mail today because that dude just like flew past my house. Yes, the wrapper on the Rose of Sharon is very, very light colored. And yes, it is often enough on smoking pipes. I haven't seen the Desert Rose on smoking pipes, but maybe once or twice I have. But the Rose of Sharon is a little more widely circulated because it's an older cigar now. It's probably about 5 years old since they first started making it. Great construction, lots of flavor. Again, that's... if you're a Maduro guy and you smoke a Maduro, the Rose of Sharon is not going to be all that much for you. You're just going to be like, yeah, it didn't really have much of any flavor. But if it's your first cigar of the day, and you're not going to be drinking something like a super peaty scotch, then you're going to notice a lot of flavor in there. Not a problem, Eden, not a problem. Connecticut's are good cigars. Steve, I'm not really sure I ever met Cliff. At least not in person. But I hear he's something of a mafioso celebrity. And I seem to recall that he's got enough firearms to make that portion of his persona stick. Oh yeah, Cole. Yeah, I love air shows. and where I'm at right here, the Houston Air Show has a route that they fill up that goes right over my house. I can sit right here in my driveway and I can see just about the whole show for free. It's kind of awesome. Eden, yeah, natural's a good serious step up from the from Connecticut. The three main groups of cigars is Connecticut, Natural, and Maduro. There's some wrappers in between each of those, but that's the easiest way to separate them out. And there's some wrappers that are actually darker than Maduro. And then, of course, there's the green ones, which are Candela, which is something else entirely. Paul, not anybody can fly a plane. And I will tell you that I live in between two really, really small airports. And Steve, so that I don't go into this whole thing again, you'll want to watch the first 15 minutes of this afterwards, because there's a chance to win a Camacho cigar. Corojo is a natural cigar that's aged just a little bit past natural. Paul, I obviously am not a pilot. Though I did spend most of my time in the military in aircraft of various different types. Mostly a C-130. Of the several C-130s that are out there, mostly that's what I rode around in. Odie, I'm going to tell you, skydiving is about as addictive as tattoos. I quite literally don't know anybody who went skydiving and after getting down to the ground didn't almost immediately go like, God, that was fun, I gotta do it again. I mean, it's... a big country, I definitely jumped out of planes. It's part of my job. Follow the big stuff. But you're pushing it out. It's at altitude. Yeah. Follow it anyways. Damn it. When he goes out the plane, so do you. Damn. Can you find a rougher landing strip? Oh, yeah, the iFly things? Yeah, that's skydiving without a plane. They got a big wind tunnel, basically, that pushes you up from the ground. It's kind of fun. We've got a few of those here, too. Well, Paul, if you've been trained to jump, it's lots of fun. If you've not been trained to jump, yeah, you're probably right. You're probably going to soil your britches pretty hard. Clean up on aisle 2. Hey, did Glum Chum just go on? Somebody check if Glum Chum just went on. If so, I'm out of here. Actually, no, voodoo was something I took up well after the military. And I didn't deface government property. But there were probably some nail marks off the back deck. Okay, so Glum Chum is live. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it has been so much fun. Y'all remember, you need my email address, and you need to read the blog, and you need to go to Martin's show. First link after Escudo, that's all I need to know. And you'll win a Camacho. As per always, thank y'all so much for being here. It's been a pleasure having y'all around. And hey, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Do the best you can with that. And as per always, long lives, big bowls, and long ashes. Y'all take care, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.